Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today we're going to talk about FOMO, fear of missing out, and home educating younger children. I'm talking 4 to 6 years old. Actually, this episode was sparked by a very honest and very raw email that a sister from this community sent in. Let's read it out because I know so many of you are experiencing the same thing. Come on, let's go. She writes, "Truly, I need help with the basics, which is curriculum for the main subjects. Honestly, I don't even know if I need a curriculum, probably a guide or a framework of sorts. For context," she writes, "my daughter is 4 years old, but I'm constantly buying workbooks, which I don't end up using, and I'm wasting money." But then listen to this. This is how this confusion is impacting her. She says, "I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I feel overwhelmed with the amount of material I'm printing and buying with the intention of using, but I don't. Help!" Exclamation mark. Sister, if you're listening, first, take a deep breath. You are not failing. You're just caught up in this cycle of doing when you should be being. And today we're going to dive into that. We're going to talk about a framework that will help you put that printer away for good. Because what you're describing isn't a lack of organization, it's a lack of philosophy. When we don't have a clear why behind what we're doing, we try to buy our way into confidence. We see a shiny new workbook on Instagram and we think, maybe this is the missing piece. But for a 4-year-old, the missing piece isn't found in a PDF download. For us, and for so many homeschooling families around the world, it's found in the Charlotte Mason education, which treats children as a person, not as a project. Charlotte Mason had a very specific word for those dry, repetitive workbooks that are currently gathering dust on your shelf. She called them twaddle. Yes, twaddle is anything that dumbs down a child's mind. It's those books and worksheets that offer no living ideas. They just ask the child to colour within the lines or circle a letter. But Charlotte Mason believed that even at 4, especially at 4, our children deserve living books. So these are books that are written by people who truly love their subject. They're full of rich vocabulary and big ideas. Let me give you a real life example so we can see the difference. So imagine you want your daughter to learn the letter B. So the twaddle approach is to get her a black and white photocopy. It's got the giant letter B in the middle and she has to trace that 10 times. Maybe there's a cartoon of a bee that she has to colour in. Her brain is barely switched on. She's just performing these fine motor tasks, and after a little while, it starts to feel like a chore. That worksheet doesn't tell her anything. It doesn't teach her any new ideas. It doesn't teach her anything of any real depth or anything that connects her to what she knows is important. It's a dead end. But the living book approach, that's sitting on the sofa together, reading something like The Honeybee by Kirsten Hall. This is a secular book, but you can infuse Islamic understanding into this with your conversations. You'll read about the golden dew and the brilliant buzzing hum. And then you talk together about how the bee finds the flower and the miracle of the nectar, and how Allah mentions that there is healing shifa in the honey. And in that one story, she hasn't just learnt the letter B because she's seen it written in the text, but she's encountered biology, poetry, and through it all, she's remembering Allah. Her vocabulary is expanding because she's hearing words like scout and blossom and drone. If you want to teach her the alphabet, don't give her a worksheet. Give her a poem. Give her a story where the language is so beautiful it sticks to her. You'll find that when you feed her high quality, quote unquote, food, you don't need 100 workbooks to keep her engaged. One good story is worth 50 printed sheets. Now, before we dive into the science of why actually starting formal schooling late is actually giving your child a head start, we're going to take a quick break and hear from Juliana. Juliana is a graduate of Launch Your Homeschool, my online homeschooling course for Muslim parents, which is officially opening enrollment this June. Let's hear what she has to say.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Juliana. I have 3 children aged 3, 6, and 8. And I've joined Launch Your Homeschool because I wanted some guidance. I just felt confused. What am I doing? Is this okay? Is this not? And the course has a beautiful outline and it helped me a lot. And I still go back to it many times. So thank you, Dr. Gemma. And I love the workshops and the continuity of learning and the book club. So it is a great resource, and I would definitely buy it again if I had to. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Juliana, for sharing your journey with us. Sisters, if you're looking to start your homeschooling journey on the right foot, or perhaps you've already started and you're starting to feel exactly like the sister who sent that email in today, I want to personally invite you to join Launch Your Homeschool this June. Let me take you by the hand and get your homeschool started in the best of ways, inshallah. To make sure you don't miss out, pop your name on the email list below. The link is in the show notes. And when the doors open, you'll be the first to know. Now let's get back to the show. So let's tackle FOMO, that fear of missing out or fear of falling behind. You feel like if she isn't doing school at 4, she's losing ground, she's falling behind her peers at school. But sisters, the global data actually shows the opposite. Let's look at Finland. So in the UK, we are pushing phonics at age 4. In Finland, they don't even start formal instruction until the child is 7. That's 3 years difference. They spend those early years on play, social activities, physical movement, time outside. And yet when these kids hit the age of 15, they are consistently ranking in the top of the world in their maths and literary scores. They didn't start early, but they finished stronger. Then there's another study in New Zealand. So researchers compared children who started formal reading at 5 with those who started at 7. What happened by the time they turned 11? There was 0 difference in their reading levels. But, and this is huge, the children who started later had much higher comprehension levels and a significantly more positive attitude towards reading. By trying to get ahead at the age of 4, you might accidentally be teaching your daughter that reading is a chore rather than a gift. So if you aren't doing workbooks, then what are you supposed to be doing? So Charlotte Mason's advice for the under 6 crowd is kind of radical by today's standards. The first duty of the mother, she says, is to leave her child alone as much as possible in the open air. And this doesn't mean unsupervised. This means you're not helicopter parenting. You're still supervising. You're still there. When your daughter is outside and she's watching an ant scurry across the ground, or she listens and hears the rustle of leaves overhead, or she feels the difference between a smooth stone and a rough stone in her hand, or the feeling of water under her feet as she wades through a stream, she is actually practicing what Charlotte Mason termed the habit of attention. And in today's day and age, there is nothing more valuable than building the habit of attention in your children. Science backs this up too. A study from Stanford University found that by delaying formal schooling by just 1 year, it reduces the chance of your child being hyperactive by 73% at the age of 7. So if we let them be outside, we are literally helping their brains wire themselves for focus. If she can focus outdoors for 10 minutes a day on nature study, on looking at that bug, on looking at the trees, on looking at the leaves, she will have the mental stamina later in life to focus on her Hifdh or on her chemistry or whatever it might be. The outdoors at that age is her classroom. I want to give you permission today to stop the printing, to stop the buying, and especially to stop the guilt. Your daughter is 4. Her curriculum is the rhythm of your home. It's the way you make wudu together and pray in the mornings. It's the stories you read before bed. It's the du'as you say before you eat. It's the hours you spend at the park. Charlotte Mason reminds us, the question is not how much does the youth know, but how much does he care? If she leaves these early years loving her deen, loving her books, curious about the world, she is not behind. She is exactly where she is meant to be. Put the printer in the closet for a month and just watch her bloom. And thank you so much, sister, for sharing that honest email with us. Jazakallah khair. Remember, if you're interested in joining Launch Your Homeschool this summer, make sure your name is on our mailing list. The link for that is in the show notes. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.